And she was pretty pointed about wanting more women in the Liberal Party.
If some state divisions choose to implement quotas, that's fine.
This is despite the fact in her first move as Liberal leader, she reduced the number of women in shadow cabinet, dumping for talented women. Bronwyn, do you agree that the party should now be open to quotas?
I'll never agree to quotas, ever, because I think it's an insult to women that they can't be judged simply on what they've got to offer. If it's a bit harder, don't waste your time whinging about it. Put the effort into overcoming that difficulty. But I think Sussan did quite well today. If you compare Albo's first speech about growing up in a housing commission house and going to a private school at the cathedral and having this tough life, compared to what Sussan described as her early days and early life, he had a pretty easy ride. And she's overcome a lot of hardships to become the person she is. So let's give her a go. And let's face it, the Parliament isn't sitting yet. I mean, we had to make way for Albo, what is it?
Airbus Albo, as Pomeroy says.
With these trips away.
Yeah.
So the Parliament's not sitting yet. So let's wait and see.
Richo, do you agree with me that it's hypocritical, her point on women, and how do you think she performed, particularly, you know, her admission that the Liberal Party was in a terrible position?
Yeah, well, I think, you know, you're starting off with a pretty weakened hand, so you've got to extend, I think, some sympathy for her in that respect. It's not an easy job. It's a really tough one. And it'll be a while before we can really make a proper judgment as to how well she's going. But I think she's off to a reasonable start. I think Labor's got to concede that. It's like you know, when Tony Abbott became leader, people were in the Labor Party were rubbing their hands with glee, saying, you know, isn't this terrific? Didn't turn out so well. I think you've got to remember that.
But Richo, it's been nearly 3 months since the election and the Liberals are nowhere. They haven't even started having a debate about energy policy. No,
the Liberals are in a mess. There's no doubt about that. And there are plenty of examples of it. I think the difficulty is going to be trying to sort out a coherent policy line. You know, they don't have a policy line. They've got a few policies, but they don't necessarily gel really well together. And it's a difficult job to make that happen. But that is her job. That's what she's been given the task for. So she's going to have to overcome it.
Bronwyn, just quickly, it just looks like they're kicking the energy debate down the road, doesn't it? When are they actually going to have it?
Well,
yeah, that's a really good question.
Yeah.
I mean, we should not be pushing this down the road. This should be dealt with now. It is a significant problem.
But Albo, you've got a ridiculous policy in the Labor Party with regard to energy. It is unaffordable. It is sending us bankrupt. It's destroying the countryside. It's destroying wildlife.
But at least
it's putting
they have a policy. The Liberals don't even have a policy.
Well,
Bronwyn.
let's see that some of us in the Liberal Party have always had a policy, and it is that net zero should never have been agreed to by Morrison, and that the answer is we have to have affordable, reliable energy source.
What do you think, very quickly, I'm so out of time, but Richo, you think the Liberal Party should dump the net zero commitment or not? Would that be a good political decision?
I think net zero is a really bad idea to keep batting on with for the Liberals. And I think they'd save themselves a lot of strife if they just got away and just said no, nonsense.
There you go. Graham Richardson, Bronwyn Bishop, didn't expect there to be so much agreement on energy policy. Maybe you both should sit down with Sussan Ley.